Hello folks, welcome into the state championship preview here on the Telegram Football Insiders. Josh Wolf is joined by Foster Lander. Foster, I don't think any of us really thought that we would reach this point and still be talking football, but the Griffons have a chance at winning their first state championship since the mid-60s.
I think the thing that says it all for me is they set up a GoFundMe page this week that they hadn't set aside money and budget for this far in the season. It ran out at least last week, a couple weeks ago. So it was definitely not expected, but the way they've been playing the last few weeks and the way kind of the chips fell with the opponents they've had outside Eastern Alamance, it's been a great run for them.
Yeah, and they now have a chance to take on Belmont South Point for a chance at a state championship. You look at the Red Raiders, triple option offense, something the Griffons have not seen since Nash Central ran it in the early part of this century. Defensively, this is a team in Belmont South Point that is used to dealing with spread offenses, and so they have a lot of athletic cornerbacks, athletic linebackers that can deal with a whole bunch of receivers. Rockmont High is not going to do that, and so I'm curious to see how the Red Raiders are going to adapt to this great Griffons rushing attack.
Well, it'll be interesting too, and Jason Battle was saying after Tuesday's practice to his team that it's always a talk about the Griffons athletes, and it's always they got great athletes and everywhere you look pretty much, but people have not said for a while at least that Rocky Mount High is well coached, and that's just not true. I mean, they are well coached, and to get this far in the playoffs, but it'll be kind of a contrast too in styles they haven't really seen. It's hard to prepare because Rocky Mount sees spread offenses all the time, and it'll be definitely kind of a battle of wills Friday night.
I mean, isn't it an advantage for the Griffons to be facing a team like South Point that's basically just going to run the football and really isn't going to care about throwing the ball at all?
Well, yes and no. I mean, the Griffons, their strength really all year has been the front seven. The secondary has been better later in the season, but Sherrod Green should be back Friday from an ankle injury he suffered against Eastern Alamance, and it'll be interesting if they can stop Belmont South Point on first and second downs. That's really the key against any triple option team. But if they can put Belmont South Point into third and long, third and medium, that's when they'll have success on defense.
I'll flip it over offensively. We talked about the fact that South Point has a lot of athletes on defense. Some of their bigger guys are playing defense because they know that's going to be the most important aspect for them this season, and obviously it's going to be very crucial on Friday night. So what is Rocky Mountain High's offense going to look like ideally if they're going to have success on South Point?
Well, the offense last week was a little bit different than what we've seen, but not too much. 50 runs and 2 passes, and that was because they were just trying to control the clock with a 28-0 lead. But the word for me for Rocky Mountain High has been just toughness, where at this point in the year you're going to see big guys, you're going to see big fronts and athletic people, but they've been tough and they've been more physical, and just really they've gone right at people and run it down their throats, and if they can do that, then they'll have a really good chance to win Friday night.
Well, it'll sure be an exciting moment in Chapel Hill, win or lose for the Griffons as they attempt their first state championship since 1963. They played for the title in 77 and lost. But Foster, one last, I'm not going to ask you for a prediction, we'll leave that for the actual newspaper itself, but one key to the game for Rocky Mount High if they're going to win.
Running the football, and it's been the key, and it sounds cliche, it feels like a broken record, but we just talk about this every week, but they've run it on every team in the playoffs and just about everybody in the regular season. Nick Bynum, BJ Sanders, Tyrell Forbes, they had over 300 again against Eastern Alamance last week, and it looks like if they go over 300, that's usually a good indicator that they're going to win.
Well, the Telegram will have a whole bunch of people out there covering it for you guys, and you can check out Foster and I live from the field in Chapel Hill after the game.